While typically when I make a review, I usually just give the positives and negatives and crack a couple jokes in there and call it a day, I've decided for authenticity purposes to show the entire process of how I make videos, which is, to say the least, messy. It all starts with the idea and the direction for the video, which I've actually just explained to you, and then you have to go and get the footage by playing the game and writing down dumb things that happen, funny quips, the like, while also noting the positives and negatives of the game. And yet already, the real video making process has differed from the game that we're talking about today, and the bamboozle has begun in this video, because I did not in fact play this game lit by red LEDs in the middle of the day. I recorded the footage that you're seeing right now at 4 a.m. earlier this week. If you're wondering what the hell's going on right now, well, welcome to the show. You see, most content creation on YouTube, at least for me, is about the illusion of flow. The entire process mainly comes down to taking whatever jumbled bullshit I've collected, meaning gameplay, commentary, B-roll, music, sound effects, vine booms, pop culture references, etc., and then making it seem as though it's got a semblance of flow to it. To hide the inconsistencies and keep the viewer's attention on you, which is really hard when you're competing with Fortnite dances on TikTok. However, with catchy thumbnails and clickbaits and exaggerated statements like, let's say, I tell you that I'm not wearing pants right now, and you don't really know, do you? But now your brain is thinking about, wow, is he really wearing pants? And you're watching my video again. Welcome back. If the video doesn't flow from point A to point B while you're watching it, even if the footage that you're watching is actually from point A to point Z, then I have effectively failed at my job. For example, by this point in the video, it is entirely possible that people have clicked away because they don't really understand what the fuck I'm going with this. And the fact that I haven't even mentioned that this is technically a review of the video game YouTuber's Life 2 probably doesn't help that. If you're just interested in the review, go to this timestamp. Right off the bat in this game, a weird premise is set because a sex offender offers you an apartment in what I'm assuming is supposed to be one of the influencer hubs like LA or Texas. There's a significant lack of realism here because you don't have to blow him in the back alley in order to get any of the equipment that you use to make your content, and also at no point do you have to call your parents crying, begging them for rent money so you can keep living your dream life. The difference between the game and real life is the fact that even now, as someone who is relatively successful compared to a lot of people that start this, I'm still using equipment that is considered not up to par for what the industry standard is. I'm still using a crappy webcam that when I go from left to right like this, there's lag, and I can't really do anything about it because I don't have the money to fund a camera. The game really hands everything to you, an apartment, equipment, and even the ideas for the videos you're making. However, I will say it is very realistic that my actual name that I use pretty much across every social media doesn't fucking fit. I think that'll do as a replacement. In a very odd design choice, the premise of your first video is actually given to you on a silver platter, and you are given options to choose what your key moments of this video are going to be. One of the best options on the platter of reactions that you can do in this vlog, that by the way, when you post it, regardless, gets you 2 likes and 37 subscribers, which is absurd. Where can I pull those numbers? The best choice that I'm referring to here, of course, is responding to a hater in the last video, in your first video. Meaning, of course, that there is no video prior to this one, therefore there is no hater, therefore you are creating drama to start off your YouTube channel, which is a really good idea if you want to end up like David Dobrik. And nobody wants to end up like David Dobrik. Well, low-hanging fruit. It's also worth mentioning that the editing in this game has been boiled down to a shitty puzzle piece arranging game. And as someone who spends far too much time in Sony Vegas, I can tell you that that is the furthest cry from what editing actually is. You need to throw in about 10 hours of self-reflection and regret and wonder why the video's not actually working, and then also make it just crash a couple times randomly because that's what editing software likes to do. Seriously though, 90% of making videos for me and most other content creators is editing. Getting all the pieces together and having the ideas is great, but at the end of the day, the videos don't magically create themselves. You have to go in and do the work yourself. There's also a pretty major lack of research done here by the developers, because if they'd gone to this is what content creation is like.org, they would have known that most content creators like myself have a severely fucked up sleep schedule and a caffeine dependence that the ice road truckers would be scared of. I have a strong feeling that if you gave an elephant the same amount of caffeine that I consume in a week, it might just die on the spot. But still, the game tells you to go to bed at midnight. Go to bed at midnight my ass. Midnight is when I end my stream so I can go edit for 5 hours and then sleep for 3 hours to get to my job in the morning, which is my final point in the point of dropping the charade. For any budding content creators that might be watching this video, I'm going to drop the character for a second and give you a really harsh reality. Most content creators are not actually going to make a living off of content creation. Most of the money that you make off this is usually funneled right back into it to make more content. At the moment, I average about 20 concurrent viewers on Twitch, and that alone gets me in the top 1% of content creators on Twitch. Now, I understand that sounds ridiculous, but let me push it even further for you by pointing out the fact that there is less than 1% of a difference between me and XQC. And yet he's a millionaire living in a mansion, and I'm still working regular jobs. Now, I don't mean this to sound envious, because I'm really not. I'm exceptionally proud of both myself and my community for what we've grown together, but YouTubers Life 2 seems convinced that you can go from me to XQC doing shitty vlogs with zero effort, and that is just a lie. While I understand it's just a shitty game, I get to make fun of it as much as I want because this is just a shitty video. Insert respond to hater reaction here. What I'm trying to say is that the stratification between successful content creators and actually financially successful content creators is very, 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 very fine. Now, to be absolutely fair, all it takes for a content creator to really blow up is one good video, one good stream, one good raid from a big streamer. But after that one, you have to do it 100 more times and get so goddamn good at it that people recognize your face in their YouTube feed. Yet again, I have to drive home. Nothing is handed to you, and this shit takes hard work. And that brings me to my point, the point of this entire video, the reason I'm reviewing this game in the first place rather than just ignoring it. This game is obsessed with everything surrounding content creation except the actual creation of the content. Nothing that this game does or has to say is actually important, and this is mostly a cash grab marketed at children who watched Video Game Dunkey's video on the first game years ago at this point and decided that they might want to be YouTubers. Dumb kids like me that saw that exact same video 6 years ago and thought, maybe I'll give it a try. For those same dumb kids that might even be watching this video right now, I'll say this. Don't spend your time on games like this or content creation videos from YouTubers and content creators alike that want to share with you the secrets to getting successful at this. The reality is that this is all hard work, and there is a lot to go into this that they will never tell you because they don't want competition. If you really want to know what it's like to make YouTube videos or stream on Twitch, go do it. You are going to suck at it. I still suck at it a year and a half later. You will put in a ton of effort and nobody's going to watch your stream. You will put in absolute loads of effort and no one's going to watch your video. You'll get 2 likes on it and both of them will be from people that you sent the video to in the first place. And yet, if you really want to do this, you have to do that knowing that you will fail and then do it again. Now, if you want actual tips, I would recommend channels like Harris Heller or vidIQ because they really do want you to succeed. At the end of the day, what you're going to have to realize if you really want to do this is that you are never going to get out of this what you put into it. But there will be moments, and for those of us that keep doing this, those moments are enough. Moments where you meet someone that makes your day, or where you actually help someone, or where you make someone not really laugh, but kind of snort air out of their nose watching you. That's what makes this worth doing. This game sucks dick. The only YouTuber's life they're actually concerned with is David Dobrik's, and like I said earlier, no one wants to be David Dobrik. Well, subscribe to my YouTube if you want the weirdest mishmash of content on the platform, and go follow me on Twitch if you want to see me embarrass myself live pretty much every week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not absolutely sure, and this was not a real review.